Let the galaxy burn.
Hi guys, Skypoint here. So I was playing the new event with Thousand Suns against Space Wolves, and I was doing absolutely terribly at it. And yet somehow luck was with me, because out of one of the worst crates, crate you would get for winning 2 matches, I somehow managed to get the Primarch of the Thousand Suns, Magnus the Red. So I went ahead and after a few fits and starts I put together a deck which seemed to kind of work on the Terra ladder, and I wanted to show you the deck and a couple of matches with it. So here's the deck that I'm using, and apart from Magnus the Red, I've got no other legendaries for the Thousand Suns in here. That would make it a relatively weak deck. It's working for now. I also didn't put in any neutral legendaries just because I'm trying to take advantage as much as possible of the synergies you get with Thousand Suns. So I'm talking about having cards which generate psychic power. So almost all my troop cards, I've got 21 troops in here, tend to generate psychic power in some way or the other. I do have 9 tactics. Most of those are the actual psychic powers that I use, and pretty much my main criteria for picking cards to go in here was most of my duplicates first for troops, and then the key tactics which work around that. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at how this did. So this deck I started playing against this Tarik Torgadin, so let's go and take a look at how this match went down. So Magnus has medium initiative, Tarik has high initiative, so Tarik was going to go first. I only have 1 Psychic Lash. I'd love to have more than one of them, so when it came up in my original hand, even though I wanted to save it for late game, I kept it. And I put away my 2 Witchfires. Okay, let's take a look here. So that's unfortunate. This guy deals 1 damage to all troops who go into play, so the first thing I did was take my Psychic Energy that Magnus generated, and I threw it at this guy to try to make him to die pretty quickly. Flip back to Tarik, so he's thinking about it. He drew Abandoned Supplies, and then much to my surprise, he attacked me. I expected that. What I didn't expect was this guy to go and suicide into me. He probably should have just left him out there and forced me to deal with him. Okay, so this gave me some nice options because the guy was gone. This Prada squad has 2 psychic energy generations, so it's going to help me next turn, especially with a shield to protect it. Oh, he drops the Felician Airborne. That's going to hurt when he hits me. But at least with Magnus, after the Felician has hit me, I can use the damage ability and kill it. So I give myself a shield to at least lower the damage I'm taking, and I get a flanking troop ready as well to help deal with whatever comes next. So Tarik attacks me to strip my shield off, and then he had dropped a Firewalker. I didn't see that one coming, and he hit me for an absolutely huge 6 damage hit. So now I've gone from being 5 health ahead of him to 3 health behind him, but I'm generating psychic energy pretty nicely over here. Just put another shield up. There's not much I can do with my hand. I've got all tactics and didn't really want to use any of them right now. Ooh, a Joker company. Wow. Alright. Okay, so I drew an automaton, but I've got tons of psychic energy now, so I drop my little automaton guy, and I start using my psychic energy. So first of all, I destroy Joker Company. I lucked out. It does 3 to 5 damage. It did 5 damage on him. I used Magnus's ability and also did the maximum damage over there, and that cleared the board. Chariot of the Gods came out. He's trying to take me down quickly so he can hit me with Vengeful Spirit. But now the automatons will start to pay its worth. So the automaton, it doesn't attack until I spend psychic energy, but then it gets stronger and does a big attack. And luckily I'm generating plenty of psychic energy. So the first thing I do is attack with the automaton. I wouldn't have minded either target. It's just convenient it hit Tarik. Because these guys had a shield on them for Magnus, I could use them to finish off the other guy. Now I'm just recharging my psychic energy some more. With a shield on, it's harder for him to instantly Vengeful Spirit me. But he still goes for it. Here we go. Down to 4 health. Painful. Painful, but not a disaster. Let's see what I do now. So it's coming close to the end now. So attack with that guy. And deal 7 damage. Another 2 damage. He has 8 to health left. And now I drop Witchfire, which conveniently does a decent amount of damage. That was a minimum damage. But then lastly, Psychic Lash. My final throw of the dice, and luckily it does the maximum damage. And then I can just swing in for the kill. Didn't even use any of my actual energy in that last turn. It was all done on Psychic energy. Okay, so that was a match against Tarik. Then after that, I faced a pretty decent Alpharius player. You can see his ranking is 4,112. And this is where I love the way the Thousand Suns play. Normally, Alpha Legion will pack your hand full of cards and then play the Harrowing. But the Thousand Suns can actually spend everything in their hand quite quickly. So let's take a look at how this one went down. Okay, this is great. I started with City of Light in my hand, which is going to be really helpful for this. It gives me an extra psychic energy, extra psyker level on my Warlord, which helps me to generate more psychic energy each turn. He did start with the initiative, even though we're both medium initiative, so I was slightly unlucky there. And he starts duplicating cards. So when a non-Psyker Warlord duplicates a card, he doesn't actually get to play Witchfire, he gets a draw a card ability in his hand. So I play a little squad here and give them shield, mostly because they generate psychic energy as well. I want to make sure that survives to the next turn. He plays Asteroid Belt, so I know he's racing for Harrowing. So I've got to spend my cards in the hand pretty fast now. So what's going to help with that, because I've got a lot of psychic energy cards, is City of Light. And I give myself a shield, and now next turn I'll be generating 4 psychic energy. He's continuing to try to fill up my hand. That's Forbidden Lore, that's what the psychic card he draws turns into. And now he pulled out Extra Tres, so he's going to sit there and try and heal away. Okay. Gotta keep emptying my hand out, so use up all my irregular energy and use some psychic energy to give him a shield. I am not using these guys' ability over here because I don't want to draw cards. But that does leave them as easy targets to get killed. He's trying to control my energy build up. And he stuns me. Okay. 5 energy now. Remember, my priority is emptying out my hand. So, 5 energy to spend, so use 3 energy and 2 energy. That's looking good. In fact, next turn I'll have enough psychic energy generated to spend both of my tactics, and then I can just focus on using regular energy and getting rid of the other cards in my hand. Look at that, he's healing back up to full health. And he attacks me. Boo. Alright. 6 energy left. But look at that psychic energy ticking up. Alright, he's on 8 energy this turn, meaning he's going to go into the Harrowing next turn. So I've got to empty my hand ASAP now. So I'm just using up my psychic power cards by hitting him directly. Now he's gone from full health to getting pretty badly butchered. And now I've only got 3 cards left in hand, so if he plays the Harrowing, it's only going to do 3 damage, which won't be enough to kill my Automaton, and it's going to do... Yeah, okay, well, here we go. So instead of playing the Harrowing, he healed himself, and he went with Volcanic Instability to try to wipe out my soft units. Harrowing would have been very expensive, and only done 3 points of damage as well. Now my Automaton gets angry and goes into action, and to protect it a little bit I drop a Rhino, also drop a little infantry squad, and I give the Automaton a shield to protect it. This guy's like the MVP. Alright, he uses a Void battle or whatever to do damage to me. And now this is a great move by him. He plays the instrument on my automaton to damage me and to stun it. I'm still concerned about harrowing going on over here. So I start dumping out more troops. I don't want to use Ankh-To. I'm not super keen on using it yet because it's not going to come back into my hand with all these troops out. But I still managed to use up most of my energy. And this guy has a handy ability of dealing extra damage. Ooh. Autlon score. That's painful. Ah, Eternal Guardian. Very helpful over there. So drop this guy. And then I give him a shield to protect him from Autlon score. Okay, he destroys my front line, so now Autlon can hit anything. And of course he goes for me. He starts doing the Alpha Legion healing thing. One of many to turn into Alpha Legionnaire. And on top of that, he then actually pulled out the Alfarius identity, so he heals 5 more points. He just healed up 10 over there. So he went from being an easy kill to being a more difficult kill. Okay. Let's see what comes up next here. Generating psychic energy, it's all ticking in, but I've got no power cards. But I used my Dreadnought special ability to destroy a unit. Brought in my own speeder to destroy his damage speeder. Activate my automaton and do the attack. And then I can now finish him off with Ankh-To. So this is a match where I really heavily use Magnus's shielding ability to really protect my guys and keep board presence, and also keeping a small hand so that he didn't get tempted to spend a harrowing on me. Okay, so that was Alfarius. Next up, we're going to go and take a look at a Tarik Draeger. I'm going to warn you, I think this match ends with the guy quitting on me, but it was mostly over by that point, so it's still fun to watch. Okay, we're going to, get rid of the Eternal Guardian. It's too expensive for now. Well, that's not bad. 2 recon squads. So these guys I like mostly for their ability that they've got Psyker. I occasionally use their draw card power, but we'll see. So he strips their shield and he uses one of the Iron Hand, well, not one of the removal tactics to get rid of those guys. That's not bad, at least I got him to waste the removal tactic on a cheap unit. So since that worked pretty well, why not repeat it? So we do that one more time. And let's see here. Yep, there we go. Iron Hand's removal tactic comes out and he destroys those guys too. Okay, so Ashen Blow, that's way too early for this one. So let's bring in Bessenmuth's squad. They only have flanks, so they can't attack immediately, and I'm not going to waste my energy protecting them. And hey, that turned out to be a good move because I can take these guys out, as well as bringing in Khalid's support. So let's drop him, and then use that squad and my warlord to get rid of his guy over here. Now I've got board control with a troop who has an energy based ability, so he's not going to... Ooh, no. So much for that. Trying to decide how I can take this guy out. I could use Ashen Blow, but I want to save it for some of the powerful vehicles which come later. So instead I use Magnus's ability to just chip away and destroy him. Alright. Oh, good thing I saved that Ashen Blow, eh? So I can use up all my psychic energy here. Now unfortunately that leaves nothing to power the automaton, but that's fine. Duke Mordecai is just way too dangerous. He's got to get removed. I can bring this second Khalid support squad back down here as well. So I'm struggling with psychic energy more in this one. I'm not either drawing my psychic energy troops or getting them to stick around anyway. Okay, that's a buffed Rend, Ancient Rend. So let's use my automaton to go and hit him. And bring in this little squad here. Okay, that's looking good. I've got almost twice as much health as him once you include Survivor. Oh, what's that? Informant network. Oh, okay. He's going to use Precision Bombardment to kill a unit and draw a card. And he destroys that guy. Great. So now, if I use Magnus's ability, I won't be able to activate the automaton, because I only have 2 psychic energy, but taking that Herend out is just too important, so I do that. And I drop Anchored Sec down here to try and generate some more energy. But he's got different plans for me. So he uses his second superior firepower to wipe that out, and he drops another Ancient Red. Okay, that's fine, kind of. Perfect, Calmech squad, they're going to generate psychic energy for me. There we go. 4 psychic energy, and I activate my automaton to do more damage. And give them a shield to protect them. Ooh. Look at that beast. Okay, now with some more heavy firepower down, he's trying to really go after me. But I've got my own heavy firepower coming along there too. I didn't put a shield on them though. I'm trying to go in for the kill over here. Uses Seek and Destroy to try and weaken that. And goes for the attack. Okay, that's all down. Precision Bombardment. Okay, and this is, yeah, there we go. That's the point at which he had quit the game. He saw where the game was going there. Alright, and the last one is a very shameful victory by me. You'll see what I mean, against Horus Lupercal, played by Dark Archon. So again, a good player. He's got a strong ranking. Let's see how this one turned out. So Horus has high initiative, so he always goes first compared to Magnus. I kept Calmech squad because I get to use those at the beginning. So let's go ahead and see. This is actually a pretty strong group of cards for the beginning of the game. Lots of energy generation potential here. So he drew a card and then attacks me. I could have honestly dropped either one of my 2 energy people, but I decided to go with, I think, Pasiaman squad, because they've got a handy ability. They can deal 1 to 3 damage for 2 energy, psychic energy, whereas Magnus only does 1 to 2 damage for 2 psychic energy. Oh, and I guess he really wants to get rid of them. There we go. Okay. Back to me. Those guys doing 3 damage is just too powerful, so I've got to use my psychic energy up to kill them and drop Anchored Sec. So at 3 health, they're a bit more sticky than the first guy I put out was. Although, as you can see, not sticky enough. He's really trying to keep my energy under control by taking out my energy generating troops. Okay, so this is where I think my dishonorableness begins. I play Ankto at the beginning of a match. 4 energy, and it comes back into my hand. Okay. Buffed me up with Horus. This is a little bit unfortunate, but I can handle this. I can put Khalid's support down. He's dangerous enough that he's going to get tempted to go for him instead of going for me. Because if he attacks me, then Khalid's squad would have killed him anyway next turn. He strips my shield off. What's he doing next? I think he's going to hit me with a tactic. Yep, there we go. Void engagement. Alright. Ooh, a Jewback. That's extremely vexing. Alright, I could try to destroy the Jubak, but I'm going to instead go with Terminators. I don't mind Jubak stealing stuff so far because most of my troops and tactics are stuff that he won't really be able to get a lot of benefit out of. Like, look at that. These guys are generating psychic energy, but he doesn't really get to do anything with psychic energy. Okay, that's ticking up quite nicely. 8 psychic energy, so I can use Astral Warfare now. 3 to 5 damage to everyone, wipes his board nicely. And I can start recharging a little bit more as well. Okay, defense satellites, that's not great. So much for my little recharge. Yeah, he's really going after my units. Those guys who generate 2 psychic energy can be very, can get out of control without you realizing it. Because that energy just constantly builds up. So he wiped out my board in return. Right now I don't have too many good cards to play. Yeah, look at that. Not much I can do here except, now this is the dishonorable part. I don't like doing this, but I had no real other option. Ankto twice in a row. This card has got to get nerfed. Like, it's way too powerful as it is. I think what it really needs is for its cost to increase slightly as you go along. Like you can see here now, there's pretty much nothing he'll be able to do to stop me.
Impressive.
I can just repeat Ankto, and he knows that, so he quit. Alright, anyhow, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You should have a little bit of a sense now of how Magnus plays on the ladder. I enjoy the Thousand Suns mechanic. I think even after they get balanced, they're going to be pretty good. And hopefully as I build up my collection of cards, I'll be able to make my deck more and more powerful and get on to even better things. Alright, until then, bye guys.